Good morning. Namaste. Welcome to morning practice. Please, as always, practice according to your conditions and ability level, and be sure to respect your limitations. Remember, this practice is an offering, and how you're feeling is to an extent affecting everybody. Just try to deliver the best experience through your body by practicing in a mindful and conscious and reverent way. So on that note, let's begin. Close the eyes and bring the attention inward. Nothing to do, nothing to seek. Everything we need is already within. Let's begin with the sound of Om 3 times to attract divine attention. Imagine you're everywhere. Fix your mind on God alone. Rest your thoughts in God alone. And in God you will live hereafter. Of this there is no doubt. May all beings everywhere be happy and free from suffering, and enjoy this practice through our senses. May we always have a strong desire for liberation from pain and suffering. And may we cherish no ill feelings against each other, only peace, love, joy, and compassion. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Now let's do the mantra for purification 3 times to purify the space, the grounds, and all the psychic channels within. Of course, you can do it with me if you know it. If not, just pretend you're chanting it through the voice of the Guru. You derive all the benefits, the purification of the space, the grounds, and all the psychic channels within, all the nadis. Om Pavitraha Pavitrava Sawa Vashtanga Topiwa Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabaya Bihantraha Schihi. Om Pavitraha Pavitrava Sawa Vashtanga Topiwa Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabaya Bihantraha Schihi. Om Pavitraha Pavitrava Sawa Vashtanga Topiwa Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabaya Bihantraha Schihi. Let's start with purifier pranayama. The idea is to purify all the nadis within. These are the psychic receptors. There are countless number of them, hundreds of thousands literally throughout the body. And when these are all open, you can realize your full potential. You can realize your goals to the fullest extent. And once they're open, and in order to open them, however, you have to be in constant adherence to the ethical rules, as to say yama and niyama. First and foremost, compassion. So these will open up all those channels. And once those are open, we purify them through these yogic techniques. So purifier pranayama, imagine that you're bringing in purification and purifying effects to all these nadis. And as you exhale, you're letting go, releasing all those impurities. The technique is inhaling through both nostrils, holding the breath for 12, if that's 4 counts, holding the breath for 12 counts, exhale through the left for 8 counts, so 4, 12, 8. For the inhale, trying to fill up the lungs as much as possible. As you do so, you raise the chest. So in the breath retention, you can With the chest high, just bring your chin down on it without hunching your back. You want to keep the back very straight so the energy can rise up more easily. For the breath retention, contract the root muscles. Imagine you're lifting a whole pelvic floor up towards the navel. Contract those muscles very tightly. For the throat lock, you again bring your chin on the chest, the tongue to the roof of the mouth behind the teeth, and the attention at the space in the eyebrows, the center of the forebrow is where the seat of divine perception is. On the exhale, you try to do it so that you're completely empty by the 8th count. So you breathe out slowly and you release the locks. So do this 5 times. Left hand in Jnana Mudra, second finger and thumb connected, other 3 fingers extended on the left knee. Right hand, second, third fingers fold down. This is Vishnu Mudra. When you turn a palm towards you, it's no longer Vishnu Mudra. It's a mudra that we use for the pranayama. Thumb for the right nostril, right ring finger for the left nostril. So let's begin. Sit up tall and straight. Breathe out completely. Empty the lungs. Inhale both nostrils. 3, 4. Hold the breath. Throat lock, root lock, third eye attention. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Exhale out through the left. 2, 3. Remember, release all the impurities out with a breath. 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, inhale through both nostrils. 3, 4. Hold the breath. Throat lock, root lock. 3, 4. Everything stops. All the mind fluctuations, the body movements, and the emotions are like they're frozen. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Exhale out through the left side. Release the locks. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale again. Hold the breath. 12 counts. Exhale to the left. 3, 4 for 8, 7, 8. Again, inhale. Hold the breath. Jalandhara Bandha, Mula Bandha. Attention at the center of the forebrow. Exhale through the left. Inhale again. 3, 4. Hold the breath. Exhale out to the left. 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's do one more. Hold. Exhale out left. And conclude. Take a moment to just notice the state of the mind, the body, and the emotions. Do this after every technique to cultivate a sense of mindfulness and consciousness. So now, again, another purifying technique, nadi stimulator pranayama. So for this one, imagine we're producing vibrations. It sounds like the pitch of a female honeybee. So it's you want to find a pitch so that you feel it in the center of the forebrow, and imagine these vibrations loud enough and strong enough so that they can dislodge all the impurities from wherever they're residing in the body. And the idea is to bring all these impurities out in the bloodstream to be carried out of the body eventually. So we just allow the breath to carry the sound through until we run out of breath. And in between, we can just relax. So as we're doing the buzzing, we're bringing the index fingers and pressing into the flap of the ears so that we amplify the effect of the vibrations. the elbows at the height of the shoulders. Make sure your elbows don't drop so that you don't lose so you have a nice strong connection. Okay, so then as you finish each one, we'll do it 3 times. You can lower the elbows down, take a free breath in, and then on the next inhale, you raise your elbows up again. So again, close your eyes and just feel the effects of these vibrations. So take a deep breath in. Just go on your own. 2 more. Remember, you can drop your elbows down in between. Once you're done, just again observe the state of the mind, observe, perhaps you feel the lingering vibrations. Just imagine that they're still working on producing those effects, purifying the nadis. Through the practice, we continue to purify those psychic receptors. So it's important to stay constant with the practice. So, on that note, let's begin. So now we're going to do some exercise to promote heat, and this helps to again release more of the impurities, physical impurities. So we want to do the exercises with enthusiasm, and do the breathing with vigor, so that you can get the full effect of the benefits. So standing with your feet hip width apart, hands on the hips, start by circling the head. So we are also loosening the joints at the same time to bring the body in a state of radiant health. So that this beautiful vehicle you've been given, can be more efficient at its work. And then switch the direction of rotation. Try to see the floor all the way around you as you take the head around and around. Move the joints every day in every way possible. And now, inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, down. Continue. Inhale, straight arms up. Exhale, pull the arms down. Inhale, straight out in front now. Exhale, pull back. Now swing the arms back and forth. Next, arms across the chest. Exhale, throw them back. Next, arms up over the head, inhale. Exhale, throw the body down. Allow the belly to hit the thighs. Good. Just stay down for a moment, allow the body stop shaking and bouncing, and then roll your way back up. Raise your arms up over the head on the inhale. Exhale, drop down. You can just come to the level that you can. Be mindful of the knees. And then press up again. Elbows out to the side, twist from side to side. And then come back to the center. Next one, squats again. So again, feel free to modify or to skip any exercise that are not appropriate for you due to your condition. Next one, sweep the arms up on the inhale. Exhale down. Inhale back up. Exhale, circle down. Next, arms out in front of the body. Inhale, circle around to the front. Exhale, pull and then punch right back out. Feel as though the arms were spring-loaded. Now, arms by the sides of the body. Same exercise, but you're going a circle and a quarter. Inhale all the way to the front. Exhale, pull and then drop the arms down. And release. Walk the feet out a little bit further, the toes beyond the edges of the mat. We're going from side to side now. Left arm up, inhale. Bend to the right, right arm up, inhale. Exhale, bend to the left. And return. Next one, the same movement, but the breathing's a little bit different. Left arm up, inhale, bend to the right, hold the breath. Increase the stretch if you can. And then coming back up, right arm up, go to the left. And return, and continue. Try to bend without creating too many wrinkles in the side body and the waist on the other side. Remember, all beings experiencing this through your practice. So try to feel good as possible as you're doing a practice. Reach up. By the end of the practice, you should feel good. Although it may be intense, during the practice, the end results should put you in a better mental, physical, and emotional state. Lose yourself in the sensations. Move gracefully. Imagine the divine witness who resides within is always watching, always guiding. So provide the best experience for that guru as well to observe. One more on each side. And then release. Just going to adjust the camera in a moment. Just give me a minute. Oops. Okay. Alright, so now come down into table position. Cat-cow. Inhale, arch the back. Exhale, round the back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Round the back. Inhale. Stretch the body skin. Exhale. Stretch the back skin. Inhale. Exhale. Make sure you don't jam up the back of the neck on the inhale or the lower back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Come back to neutral. Bring the right leg up. Inhale. And swing it out to the right. Loosen up the hip. Imagine legs a great pendulum swinging back and forth. And then the other leg, left leg up, inhale, and then swing it out to your left. Throw the leg up and back. And then release. So now we're going to make our way onto the belly. So we want to anchor down to the lower body, press down to the hips, the thighs, the tops of the feet. We're going to lift the upper body up, try to engage the buttocks in the upper back so as to allow yourself to lift up. Inhale up, back down, exhale, up, down, squeeze the heels, palms together, up, down, 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 up, and down, and release. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. Let's turn on to the right side. You can rest your hand in your right hand, left hand in front of the chest. Inhale, raise the left leg up and down. Press up, push the foot out as it comes up, so you lengthen the leg. Try not to fold the waist and down or create wrinkles in the waist. Up and down. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Now bring the other foot up to meet it. Flex the feet. If you can, bring the right arm in front, the head, left arm over, head, and then see if you can lift your arms up, balance on the right side of the body. And then release. We'll just roll on the back, breathe in, and breathe out. Go of all tension, all fatigue. So now I'll turn around onto the other side. Left hand, again supporting the head, right hand in front of the chest, and then raise the right leg up and down. Up, again, the legs and the leg. Inhale, exhale, charge the leg up, flex the foot, forward, down, up, down, up, down. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, bring it down, not all the way, and bring the other foot up to meet it. Flex the feet, push into the hip. Then from here, extend the left arm in front of the head, right arm over the head, whoops. And here, try to find the stability, raise the arms up. And down. Roll onto the back, breathe in, and breathe out, relax. Good, now from here, just extend the arms and legs, reach up. Exhale, tuck in. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, pull in. Forehead to the knees. If you can, inhale, reach up. Exhale, come into tuck. All movements powerful. Inhale. Exhale, make the body look like a fist. Bring everything in. Inhale. Exhale, pull in. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze tight. Inhale. Exhale, bring it all in. Inhale. And exhale, pull in. Inhale, extend. And then from here, hold the breath this time as you tuck. Peel your shoulders up off the ground, pull the front of the shoulders to the knees. See if you can bring your forehead to the hands above the knees. Release, exhale. Inhale, again, extend. Push out through the heels, stretch the fingers, hold the breath, tuck in all the muscles coming to the center so all of the body parts want to meet together in the middle. Release, exhale. Inhale, stretch the body out long. And then hold the breath, tuck. Everything stops under breath retention. All the mind fluctuations, the body movements, and the emotions. Frozen. Release, exhale. Inhale, stretch. Hold the breath. And when that happens, the mind goes into quietness. We try to stay in this temperament of calmness in mind, no matter what we're doing. Release. Yoga's cessation of the mind activity. Reach up and pull the body in, everything in. Release. We try to remain undisturbed, unjudging, unbothered, no matter what we're passing through. Hold the breath and tuck. Release, exhale. Inhale, stretch. And tuck very tightly. And release. You know the body's experiencing physical tension. Again, try to be completely unaffected in the mind. Be the witness watching it all. And release. Breathe in. And breathe out. Good. Now, from here, swing the legs back over the head. And cloud pose if you can. And from here, bring the legs down softly. Let the feet come down, lift up in the seated, pull the body down over the legs. So if you can do, come up without lifting the heels up, this will work the core a little bit. If you need the momentum of the legs coming down to swing up, this is okay too. Again, do what you can in order to make the movement accessible. And try to move fluidly throughout. No jerky motions, no fast, hard, loud landings of the back with the legs back on the ground. Just coiling and uncoiling. A couple more. Roll all the way back. Keep the arms and the legs as straight as possible throughout the transitions. Good. Next time you come seated, cross the ankles and make your way onto your into child's pose. Bring the knees back, sits on the heels. Bring the seat back behind the heels. So from here, inhale, come up, rounding your back. Exhale, drop your hips to your hands, chest forward, head back. Inhale, back into high cat. Tuck the chin in. Exhale, seat behind your heels. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, forward, uncoiling. Inhale, back up. Exhale, all the way back. Imagine you can see the spine right through the skin. And forward. And back up. Moving away, that keeps the curve of the spine smooth. No discontinuities anywhere at either end, at the lower back or the back of the neck. And forward. And back, inhale. Exhale. Graceful, fluid movements. Inhale, rounding. Exhale, arching, flexing the spine. Back into rounding, flattening and lengthening. And up. Forward, press down to the tops of the feet. And back up. And back all the way back, flattening and lengthening. Inhale, rolling up. Excellent, coiling gracefully. And then coiling back in. And back. Up. Forward. Telescope the neck out, the shoulders, the trunk out, hips up. And back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Up. Forward. Up. And back. Up. And forward. Chest wide open. Up. Rounding. Keep your chest open, don't and back. And up. Don't lose the neck. Telescope out of the shoulders, up. And back one more time. Inhale, roll up. And forward. Up. And back. Rest in child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. These help to prepare the spine, especially if you're not accustomed to moving in the morning. This helps to wake up the body a little bit. Warm up the blood. Now inhale. Glide forward into your cobra. Lift the head and chest. Bring the head back. Hold. And then come all the way back. Exhale. Inhale. Use the arms to tug the floor towards you to propel yourself forward with more power and ease. Shoulders go back. The head goes back. Exhale back. Inhale. Smooth descent. Hips come up to your hands, raise the head and chest. Hold the breath, hold the pose. And back, exhale. Try to get up higher, even in the hold. Subtle movements. Come to the full extent that you can into the pose. And back, try to merge with the form. And see, tap into the divine qualities of each and every being. This is the way that God's grace and beauty and magnificence manifests in each and every being so uniquely. Inhale, come forward. Come up high. And back, exhale. Inhale. Hold the breath, hold the pose. With repetition, you find ease in the poses all the way back. And then when you find ease, you'll be able to find stillness. Now here, if you can, bring your feet up towards the head, press into your fingertips. The King of Kings, the mighty King Cobra, all the way back. The King of the Serpents, I should say. And come up. Again, give yourself a little height. Press into the fingertips, point the toes. Imagine you're squeezing soft behind your knees. And back. Doesn't matter if you can't touch your head, just do your best. And you're working different joints at the same time. Hold the breath, hold the pose. And back, exhale. Inhale. Powerful ascent. Your hips have to be right between your hands. Your hands close to the body so you can get more height. The whole trunk is up off the ground from the tops of the legs up. And back, exhale. 2 more. Inhale, come up. Shoulders back, head back. Imagine trying to get your head over your seat. And back, exhale, 1 more. Inhale. Through these exercises, the back, the spine becomes more efficient, a strong and more supple conduit for the energy to rise. And back. And break the pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Remove all fatigue, all tension, all efforts. And then roll your way up. So it's important to find a good balance between, the ideal balance between strength and drive and effort, softness and surrender. Offer up all of it. They all have their place in the practice. So let's come to the front of the mat now. Hands to the hearts, a few rounds of sun salutations. Remember to renounce all the fruits of the practice. Think of this as your divine obligation to all beings everywhere. Raise your arms up over the head, reach up and back. Fold forward. Chest, head down, chest on the thighs, hands to the ground. Right foot back, lower down the knees, sink down to the seat. Into the plank, lower down the knees, bring the seat all the way back. Now glide forward into the cobra. Roll over your toes, Adho Mukha Svanasana, lift the seat up and back. Allow the heart to sink towards the ground. Right foot steps forward to the hands, drop down to the seat. If this is too much, if you can't get your foot all the way, you can lower the knee down first. Use your right hand to assist the foot forward. And then the feet come together, chest on the thighs, head down. Come right up to standing, reach up and back. Hands back to the heart. Again, just as we did in the warm-ups, engage the buttocks and your upper back muscles. Fold the body down onto your legs. Left foot back. Sink down through the seat and come into high plank. Lower down the knees, the seat all the way back. Move swiftly and gracefully. Try to make the transition seamless into the cobra. Adho Mukha Svanasana, lift the seat up and back. And then the left foot forward. Move with purpose, move with mindfulness and reverence. Feet together, have reverence for all the forms that you're passing through. All experiences have something to teach us. Arms back over the head, fold the body down. Right foot back, lower down the knees, sink down to the seat. Into the plank. Lower down the knees, bring the seat back. This time, as your hips come forward between your hands, lift the hips and knees up off the ground, upward facing dog. And back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward, back knee down, sink down through the seat. Push back through the left heel so you feel a stretch through the whole back body. And then bring the feet together, chest on the thighs, head down. Come right up to standing. Salute, hands back to the heart. Raise your arms up. Every movement reflecting devotion, surrender, humility. Head down. Renounce all the fruits, remember. Lower down the knees, sink down through the seat. Into the plank. Lower down the knees, the seat back. Glide forward and then Once your hips come between your hands, lift the hips and knees away from the ground. Upward facing dog. Activate the leg muscles. Back into downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward, back knee down. And then the feet come together, Uttanasana, chest on the thighs, head down. Come right up to standing, reach up and back. Hands back to the heart. Another variation here, raise your arms up over the head. Fold the body down into Uttanasana. This time, lift the head, press into your hands, hold the breath. Jump back if you can, or walk back. Bend your elbows as you come down so that you land softly, no big jarring, uncontrolled movements. Into upward facing dog here. So here, bend the toes under and push through the heels. Pulse a little bit here. Try to get your shoulders and head back. Look like a dog howling at the moon. Try to copy the form on all levels, mentally, physically, even emotionally. And then press into your toes, lift your seat, and downward facing dog here again. Pulse, try to get your chest closer to the ground without bending your arms. Soften the shoulders. Try to feel that nice curve in your back body. The belly comes to your thighs, your chest down, the forehead down maybe even. Eventually even the nose or the chin if you're very flexible. Be like a dog. Exhibit the loyalty of the dog to its master. Now from here, lift the head, lift the heels, bend the knees, hold the breath, jump forward or walk forward. Pull the body to your legs. Come right up to standing, reach up and back. Hands back to the heart. Raise your arms up over the head, reach back, forward fold, bow to the legs, a gesture of humbleness. Lift the head, press into your hands. Again, come back any which way into chaturanga, into upward facing dog. Now this time, transition between upward and downward facing dog. Round your back as you're coming back and then melt the heart when you're in downward dog and then come forward again. Imagine trying to push your heart right between your shoulder blades and then forward right to the center of the chest. Back the other way, round your back, tuck the chin in and back. If it's too much, do 3, just do as many as you can, 1 or 2. Roll over your toes, uncoiling gracefully. Back the other way, tuck the chin in, pull the navel to the front of the spine, and then back into downward facing dog. Lift the heels, bend the knees up to the hands. Come forward, hopping or walking. Pull the body down onto your legs. Come all the way up. Reach up over the head. Hands back to the heart. Good. Take a deep breath in here. From the heart. Inhale all the love up to the crown. Hold the breath here for a moment. Imagine all the love going out to all beings everywhere, circulated all around and everywhere to all beings. Exhale back down to the heart. Keep holding all beings in your heart. Remain established in love towards all. And release. So now we'll continue with some standing poses. Standing on your left foot first. So let's take up the right foot. Take hold of the heel. Hold it from the inside. Flex the foot. And bring the leg out. So you try to have your toes and fingers on the same line. So you might look like the letter T, the arms straight to the height of the out with the arm height fingers about the height of the shoulders. More flexible, you might look like the letter Y. Bring the foot up a little bit, lean to your left, so you can keep your toes and fingers again at the same height. If it's too much, if you can't balance, you can stand against the wall. If you can't hold the foot without bending your leg, you can try to bring your hand to the knee and then stretch the inner leg muscles. Try to get your leg as straight as possible. Just do whatever modification you need to realize the pose the best you can. Be magnificent and graceful like a dancer. Good. Now, release the foot, come down. Don't let it drop down all the way if you can. Right into eagle if you can. So bend your left knee. Land your belly on your thigh. Take your arms out to the side, sweeping them out like the wings of that great bird. Try to have your toes higher than the head. Arch the back again. Bring the head forward. You can always bring your index fingers to the ground if you lose your balance. And then press into your left foot and come back up. Good, so just imagine yourself doing the poses, moving in and out with grace, with ease, and perhaps this will realize your body will obey. Now hold your left heel, repeat on the next side. You have to try to embody all the characteristics, think about all the characteristics of what you're representing, and just try as best as possible to realize it through your being. Again, flex your foot, this helps with balance. Look up. Good, you become what you believe. And now hold the breath, engage leg muscles so that the leg doesn't come down heavily and without a control. And then from here, bend your right knee, cant the body forward so the belly comes onto your thigh, and then open it up like that great bird soaring through the air, skimming the surface of the ocean. Visualize that being in your mind and merge with them. Imagine you're a shapeshifter, assuming all the forms without effort. Now press into that right foot and come back up. Good. So now we'll do another pose. Okay. Ardha Chandrasana. Take a step forward with your left foot. Bend your knees. You can bring your left fingertips down to the ground. You can always use a block if you need to. Stand a block on the short end to give you more height. And this will allow you to maybe open up into the pose a little bit more. Raise your right leg up and then bring the right arm up. Try to bring the right leg up as high as you can. If you look up, you won't be able to see your foot. It's a little bit out of your sight. Keep reaching it up, open up. Now you can stay here, or you can bend your knee, bend the left knee as well if you need to. So you can take hold of the foot more easily. Then as you push the foot away, you straighten out the left leg again. The hip is over the heel. And try to bring the foot as far away from the body as possible. Pull on the foot, try to get a little bit further back. Open up again. You should feel like Dhanurasana, like a bow pose. Now if you can look forward, more advanced. Hold your breath. You take your left hand to your heart. Or you can even take hold of the foot. Bring the foot closer to the seat again. And again, push the foot away from you. Release the pose, bring the foot back close to the seat, bring the left hand down, and step back out. Good. I'll try it on the other foot. Right foot steps forward, lean down, bend your right knee so you can get the right hand to the ground. It should be not too close, at least maybe 14 to 16 inches away from the foot, the toe in line with the little toe. And then move slowly into the pose, have patience, don't rush into it. This is why you sometimes lose your balance. Open up, move gracefully and fluidly. Become the form. Then here, if you like, bend your left knee, bend your right knee a little bit so you can sit your belly under thigh, and take the foot more easily, and then push the foot up away from the seat and straighten out the standing leg again. Engage the muscles below and above the knee. And then open up again. Push the foot way up. The knees pointing to the ceiling. Again, you can stay here or look forward. Try to make it so that your hip is right over the heel. Hold your breath and take your hand to the heart, or pull your foot right into your seat. Take hold of the foot and then push the foot up. Arch the back. Engage. Again, straighten out the right leg. Break the pose. Bring the heel back towards the seat. Right fingertips down. And left foot down, and come back up. So if you lose your balance or it doesn't go quite the way you go, keep staying in the same mindset, undisturbed. Now from here, bring your left leg forward. Turn to the right, Virabhadrasana 2. Try to get your hip down nice and low so it's about the height or maybe a little bit below the level of the knee. So your knee can be over the toes. Strong lines. Be fierce and courageous and proud like the warrior. Proud to serve. And bring the right arm up to meet the left. So Virabhadrasana 1. Bring the head all the way back. This beautiful expression of offering. It's what the warrior does. They offer up service to protect. Now lower the back knee down, flatten up the toes. Kapiyasana. Pull the arms back behind the ears. Sink your seat all the way forward so you don't lose your balance. Pressing the top of the foot. If it's too much, you can take your hands to the knee, lift the chest, and bring the head back so you're lifting up so you don't crunch the lower back. No big folds in the lower back. So again, do according to your condition. Radiate your inner light. Think of a crescent moon. And just become that form. Maybe eventually index fingers go over the back toe. The body's level to the ground. And break the pose. Bring the hands back to the front leg. And push yourself up. Right. Slide your left foot in a little bit, bend the toes under and the back foot. Parivita Parsvakonasana. Your legs are like a box here. Right, left leg at a right angle. Raise your right arm up. And then go down to your left if you can. All the way so the armpit's sitting on the outside of the knee. Your hands come together. You can also do a fist if you like. That might help to push a little bit more firmly into the hand. And then as you push down into your hands, the belly lifts up over the thigh. And you roll upwards, turn to your left. The center of the chest is still trying to make its way to your thumbs. Left hip moves back, top head moves forward. If you want, you can bring your seat back. And then if you have enough space here, this is why you want to have your armpits stay on the outside of the knee. Your elbows close to the front, just behind the calf, and you just use your hand to slide your hand through underneath the leg. You worm it through, left arm goes over the back, and you pull the hand out. And then you join your hands together, either locking the fingers or taking hold of the left wrist with the right hand. If you like, take the back knee up off the ground. Continue to spin. Left shoulder goes all the way back. So if you can't go into this pose here, you just stay upright. Right hand to the outside of the knee, left hand to the seat, and spin to your left. So lots of different modifications you can do. Go to your edge. Every day you challenge yourself to go a little bit further, and then you just keep on moving your edge, redefining your edge. Otherwise you never make progress. And then lower the back knee down. From here, bring your hands to the inside of the left foot, move the left foot out a little bit, slide your right toes back and fall to the right. If you can get your hip and your forearm down, then you can roll to your left, get your left forearm down, and keep on telescoping your chest forward. You want to feel as though the pelvis was made of lead. And then when the hips and the legs, the lower body is heavy, perhaps the rest of the body will come down more easily. The belly will sink down, eventually the chest. You want to have eventually the back lower than the knee. If your hips are tight and you're more like this, your hips are up, and you can't get them down to the ground, they're a mile away, just keep on sinking your hips down, keep feeling like they're heavy. Think of a cobra pose. The left knee stays close to the shoulder. So again, just stay where you can. Fix the gaze like a lizard. If you're very flexible, you might be able to make your way right down onto your chest. And then come back onto the hands. From here, bounce the right knee in underneath the hip. Left foot moves back. Vasisthasana, swing the left arm up, open it up. Now you can stay here. This is already where your limit is, or you can take your right knee up off the ground. You have to push into the right hand. The hand's a little bit from the shoulder, so you have more strength. Push into the hand. Try not to drop into your shoulder, so this should be happening. Don't lose the neck. Keep your hips high, the right arm fully extended. And then from here, go to the other side. So spin, your ankles can stay crossed. You move your left hand a little bit more in front of the nose or to the right, and lift up. Make sure you don't sag through the hips. It's going to feel heavy and you won't be able to hold the pose for very long. Push your hips up and forward. And then back into plank position, downward facing dog. Lift the seat up and back. And again, bring warrior one, bring warrior two, bring the right foot forward, and then go into the pose. Again, sink deep into the hip. Strong, steady lines here. Straight and true like the intentions of a warrior, to protect, to serve, without hesitation. And then swing the left arm out to meet the right. If you can't turn your hip, it's still stuck to your, turn to your left, you can lift the back heel up, bring the head back. Say with this pose, I'm yours to do service, grant me higher devotion. And then lower the knee down, flatten out the toes, Kapi asana. Pull the body up by the hips, use your arms to help you to get that extension. Imagine you're telescoping your body, your trunk out of the hips. Again, make the modification as you need to. Push your chest forward and up, curl the tail under. Every pose an offering. And then break the pose, coming back up, push into the front knee, and send your way up a little bit higher so the shoulders and the hips are on the same line. Bend the toes under and back foot. I'll do it this way. This time, so you can see from the other angle, raise the left arm up, ankle the toe and the knee towards the left. Drop the arm down on the outside. The armpits stay on the outside of the knee. Right hand pushes into your left. And now push firmly the right hand to the left. Again, you can use a fist, pushing to the hand for more power. The belly comes higher than the thigh. And then you start to spin your body upwards. If your belly's higher than the thigh, you have more room to spin. Some of the chest is always trying to make its way to your thumbs. Again, if you want to take the bind, push the seat back so you have more distance for the arm to go underneath more easily. Using the right hand to assist the arm to go through, the right hand can then go over the back, pull the hand out a little bit more, lock the fingers together, or you can maybe take hold of the right wrist as your left hand. Last action, if you like, bend the toes under, lift the knee up off the ground. Continue to turn. So make sure that the body's not hunched down. So sometimes this happens. Your shoulders, your hands by the shoulders, and you're kind of stuck. So you have to push down, really push into the bottom hand, the up top hand to the left hand, so the body comes up. Again, if you need to modify, stay more upright, like so. Okay, so one more breath or two here. Extend through that back heel. Extend through the crown. Keep the back leg strong. Straight line from the heel all the way to the ground. If you're doing the full version of the pose. Then break. Come back down, the hands on the inside of the right foot. Slide your left toes back so that your body is already low to the ground. Fall to your left, so you can get your forearm and your hip to come down. Then roll to the other side. Make sure your knee's not falling out to the side. Keep it close to the shoulder. The foot in the line with the same line as the knee. If you're very flexible, your body's close to the ground, you can bring your arm to the outside of the foot and keep creeping forward. The more you lengthen, the more the body will lower down. Imagine again that you have a pelvis that's made of lead, very heavy, anchored down so the rest of the body will follow more easily. Fix the gaze like a lizard just sunning itself on a warm earth. And then come back onto your hands. So bring the left knee in again underneath the hip and bring the right foot back. Vasisthasana again. So you can open up a little bit. You can push your chest forward, maybe you can raise the leg up and take hold of the foot again. So revisiting that bow pose type of sensation. Or if you want to do the full pose, come into side plank. And you can slide the toes back, right toes back. Push, slide the right foot in and flip your hips and chest up. Come into wild thing. Those who want to go right into Urdhva Dhanurasana, if you have the reach, spin on the left heel to the palm, bring your feet and the hands beside one another. Upward facing bow. And then return, spin on the left hand, press into your left foot, keep your hip high, your arm fully extended, back into downward facing dog. Go to the other side now. So you can do the modified version again with the knee on the ground, or with right knee on the ground, or move the right hand towards the left. Come to the full Vasisthasana. Then slide your left toes back, pull the right foot in a little bit, and then spin on the heel of the palm. And then eventually, you'll be able to come into Urdhva Dhanurasana. Again, this is just an option. And then go the other way, or go back, I should say. So press the heel of the palm, keep your hips up. Spin on the heel of the palm, return to downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Now from here, coming into Supta Virasana. So come forward onto your knees. You can either sit on your heels and then lean back and walk, bring your hands back and just go as far as you can. Lift the hips, tilt them forward. Try to get as much, push your shoulders back so you get as much distance between your shoulders and knees. If you're more flexible, you can sit between your heels if it's okay for your knees, and then come down. Maybe you come down on your elbows. Again, tilt the hips forward, bring the thighs together. If you can bring your back on the ground, go ahead. You can take hold of the opposite elbows over the head. Pull the elbows up higher, away from your knees. Good. Now from here, inhale, balloon the chest up. Exhale. Feel everything cave in, the whole back body sags. Feel very heavy. The belly button falling right through the body into the ground. This helps soften the knees a little bit. And then make your way up. Push your hands into the feet if you are soles of the feet and the heels. If you're down in the back, lift your shoulders and the head up off the ground. Tuck your chin in. Push into one elbow. Place your hand where the elbow was and come up. Good. Now from here, come upright. Bring the right foot forward, and then bring the foot out to your left. The other knee's tucked in behind, and swing the right foot out. Or left foot, I guess, and then come sit between your feet. So do it this way. The knees should be right on top of one another. And now from here, Gomukhasana, right arm up. If this is too much, you just sit on your feet with your thighs just beside one another. Okay, so you just do a regular, just kneeling. And then bring the right elbow up. Use the left hand to guide the elbow up and further back. The hands, the fingers walk down the middle of the back. If you like, you can bring the left arm up to meet it. If you have the mobility to do so, you can always use a strap. Pull the hands down further down the back. Lift the gaze. Try to align your elbows one on top of the other. Now if you like, try not to lift your seat. Come forward, bring your belly onto your thigh. So you might be able to get your elbow right to the ground. The chin is hanging over the outside of the front of the knee. So you can get your elbow to the ground without lifting your seat up off the ground. Feel a nice lengthening through the spine. May coming back up. And from here, release. Now come forward again. Come back into sort of like a kneeling pose, and then bring the other foot forward. The left foot up, and then Bring the knee down, just in front of the right knee, the toes wing out to your right, and then the right toes wing out to the left. Sit between the feet, try not to be sitting on the feet. Okay, so they're beside the hips. Or again, modify as you need to just by sitting on your heels. Left arm up, use your right hand to guide the elbow up and back. Sit tall and straight. And if you have the mobility again, you can bring the right hand up. Lift the chest, look up. Try to soften the face. If your eyes are popping out of the head, maybe you're straining too much. Then don't go to a place of pain or suffering, anxiety or distress. Think of all who are trying to experience this in your body. You want to give them the best experience. Then from here again, come forward. See if you get your belly to come onto your legs. Maybe your elbow comes right down. Your chin is just hanging over the top knee. Try not to lift your seat up off the ground. This intensifies the stretch in your shoulders, so again, be careful. And coming back up. And release. So now from here, coming into a squat. Press your thighs outwards with your elbows, the wrists in line with your elbows. Now from here, kakasana, crow pose. Bring your hands down, lift the heels, and really push into the ground so your shoulders come over the fingertips, your arms are straight. Keep pressing the inner legs against the backs of your arms. Hold your breath and flick your toes up. If you don't want to do this, you can just keep your toes on the ground, but just maybe rock back and forth. So squeeze the knees into the shoulders, shoulders to the knees, and you can come back down when you get tired. Okay, so really push into the hands. If your arms are straight, that helps with the strength a little bit. Those who want, tuck the chin in, bring the forehead down, and come into teddy bear. Those who want to keep going, come right into headstand. Again, know your practice, know your limitations. If you're in headstand, you can even come onto your fingertips. Eventually maybe peel off one finger at a time, almost all the way to on the head. Very, very, very little on the fingers, so eventually you can come just right on the fingernail of each finger, index finger. Wherever you are, keep the mind still. Good. Now, if you're in headstand, bring your finger teddy bear. Come back down. You can, if you like, come back into your crow. Bring your legs back onto your arms. Hold your breath. Flex your feet. Really push the arms into legs and vice versa. Inner legs into your arms, and then lift your head up. And then come back down. Now bring the knees together, forehead on the ground, hare pose. Try to get your forehead close to the knees as possible. So when you lift up your seat, you feel on the back of your neck. This is a good stretch for the back of the neck. If it's too much, just move your head forward so you're more on the top of the head. Keep your attention on the space between the eyebrows. Imagine you're trying to push your belly button right through your lower back. Your upper back eventually looks like a wall too. If you're more flexible, you can bring your forearms beside your head and see if you can lift your seat up. You can come all the way forward. Again, know your limitations. Your shoulders might come right down. Back shoulders come right down to the ground. And then you come back. Again, be mindful of your limitations. And back down in child's pose. Breathe in and breathe out. Now roll your way up. Find your way onto your back. Starting off with bridge pose. Bring your heels close to your seat. Edges of your feet are parallel. Hands, my fingers might be able to touch the heels here. Now from here, lift the seat up. Tuck your shoulders under.
So you feel the shoulder blades pressing towards one another, and then if you look from above, you can't even see your arms. They're right underneath the body, including the shoulders. So try to get your chest up if you feel you can. Lift your heels, walk in a little bit closer the feet towards the shoulders, and lower the heels down, but don't drop your hips. Now if your knees are way over your toes, your hips are flat, you have to keep on pushing with your chest so that the chest looks like a wall goes right against the chin. Now you can stay here, or you can see if you can come into Urdhva Dhanurasana. Bring the fingertips now beside your head, fingers facing away, elbows facing up. Hold your breath, press into your fingertips, slide your head back, so you're on the top of the head. You're now on the top of the head. Turn your hands around so the fingers are facing towards the heels and the fingers are winged out a little bit. Now you can stay here, move your head in a little bit closer to your feet. If you want, hold the breath and lift your head up off the ground. Urdhva Dhanurasana. Lift the heels and then you can rock back and forth a few times. Imagine trying to kiss the wall in front of you with your chest. Open it up. It's a good pose for practicing determination and stamina. Again, you can stay in bridge again if you like. Move according to your abilities. And then those who in Urdhva Dhanurasana, start to make your way down softly. The head comes down from here. The back comes onto the ground. Breathe in, breathe out. Now your knees are still up, the feet close to the seat. Just lift your seat and move your hands underneath your seat. Tuck your shoulders under just as we did before. Your index fingers and your thumbs are touching, and just land your seat back on your wrists. If you're sitting on your wrists, extend your legs, fish pose. Now push into the forearms, lift your back up off the ground, and then expand the chest, lift it up. Bring the top of the head to the ground. Now those you want, you can raise your legs up 12 inches off the mat. Charge the legs. And now, wherever you're at, Bastrika breath, breathe very fast in the nose like a sniffing dog. Bring the legs down. If they're up, and relax on your back. Take your arms out from underneath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax. Right. Now make your way back to seated position. Karmasana. You bring your feet out wide. The toes beyond the edges of the mat, in the corners maybe of the mat. And then slide your arms underneath. Come forward. Try to get your elbows to slide out further underneath. So eventually, when your elbows come out further on the outsides of the legs, your shoulders will eventually go lower than the knees. Hold on to the edges of the feet and bring your forehead down. If you can't touch the floor, you can also take a block and rest your head on the block, or just, you don't even have to, just keep your attention on the space in the eyebrows for a moment. Imagine that space coming to touch the ground. Then bring your attention back to the base of the spine. Your attention there might attract all the blood there, and feel the blood just rushing around in that area, to circulate in that area. Those who know the full pose, go ahead. You can take your arms, your shoulders lower than the knees. You can bring your hands beside your hips, fingers facing back, and allow the legs to rest, to just slide forward so that they're resting on your arms. Keep the legs close to the shoulders. Those who are more flexible even can join your hands over your back. And break the pose, come up. Good. Now from here, across your ankles. Come onto your knees. Bend the toes under. This is similar to the pose that we just did, bridge pose. Bring your hands to the seat and push into the seat. Lean back if you can. Engage your thighs and the core so your shoulders go beyond your feet. Right hand to the heel, left hand to your heel. And then bring the heels together. Lock your baby fingers together. And then allow your hips to come forward as though you're about to fall on your thighs. If it's too much, just keep your hands on your seat. Concentrate on just getting your chest up high, the head back. And then press into your heels. Come back, shoulders come behind the feet. One hand at a time, hands to the seat, and come back up. Good. From here, flatten out the toes. Come into child's pose. Belly on your thighs. Head to the ground, breathe in. Breathe out. Now come up. Arms extended in front, legs extend in front. Push out through the heels. Left hand to the outside of the right shin, not to the hip, closer to the ankle. The right hand right down behind the center of the seat. Inhale, push the lower back up and in. Turn to the right. Now take a look at your feet for a moment. If one heel is way in front of the other, push the other one forward to meet it. Heels, let the heels stay together. Your chest is open. Your shoulders are maybe in line with the long edge of the mat. Just imagine the spine spiraling upwards. Try to see it in your mind. Perhaps the body will spin with that visualization a little bit more. Not just the eyes turn. You feel the whole torso twisting from the base of the hips. Come back, go to the other side. Left hand. Push into the fingertips right behind the seat. Make sure your hand's not too close to your hip. Move it further forward and push actively against the outside of the shin. Push out to the heels as well. Shoulders back, neck long. And release, lie on the back. So make your way down for a moment. Come down softly, no big hard thumps of the body on when the body lands on the ground, softly, like a feather just floating down. And now here, just rest. Here's where you have more opportunity to remove more impurities still. Shavasana is where when this can take place very effectively. There are impurities at all levels, mental, physical, and on the emotional and spiritual plane. As you inhale, imagine, these impurities sometimes manifest through physical tension in the body or feeling a restriction. And those emotional and mental impurities, those negative thoughts that disturb you, that bring you into a place that is negative, that maybe sometimes causes you to stray from observing the yamas and niyamas. So as you inhale, just imagine you're attracting all those impurities, whether they be the physical, mental, or spiritual plane, and then pull them all to the center of your being. On the exhale, drop them all out of the body. Be rid of it all. Just trying to make your body, your being, like a temple for a more favorable place for the highest self within to reside. And when the body is rid of all those impurities, make it now open, like an open vessel to receive the best of the best. All the knowledge comes in.
When the mind is open and clear, when the mind is quiet, free of restlessness and freedom and free of cravings, be able to see things with more easily with love. Unconditional love towards all beings is what we're aiming for. And boundless compassion towards all beings in all our actions, thoughts, and words. Now prepare to carry that out into your day-to-day life. Make an intention of just trying to see God in all beings. And when you see that divine essence in all beings, it becomes unthinkable to want to do harm to them, to take away their comfort and their happiness. Just keep that firmly ingrained in your heart and mind. Now return to a seated position, ever so softly, gently, reverently, and quietly. We'll close with Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Instill the peace within and send it out to all beings everywhere. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be receptive to the grace of God. All is within. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining. Have a wonderful day. Much love to you.